Good day. If you want to know about HIV, to gather information, keep watching this video.
So one in national news this morning, NBA legend Irving Magic Johnson has been living with HIV for 30 years. Johnson recently sat down with CBS's Gayle King to talk about what life has been like after his diagnosis, which at the time was considered to be a death sentence.
Over 30% of youths in Uganda are living with HIV.
First of all, I was born with the virus. At the age of 11, I got to know that I'm HIV positive. I started hating myself, I hated my parents. He found them, he read everything. He ran to my roommate and told her that I was interested in him and I wanted to infect him so that he can infect the girl.
What is HIV? HIV stands for Human Immunodeficiency Virus. HIV is a retrovirus that infects cells of the human immune system and destroys or impairs their function. Infection with this virus results in the progressive depletion of the immune system, leading to immunodeficiency. The immune system is considered deficient when it can no longer fulfill its role of fighting off infection and diseases. People with immunodeficiency are much more vulnerable to a wide range of infections and cancers, most of which are rare among people without immunodeficiency. Diseases associated with severe immunodeficiency are known as opportunistic infections because they take advantage of a weakened immune system. Where does it come from? Based on research, it started around the 1800s in Kinshasa, Central Africa. The virus actually started from chimpanzees called simian immunodeficiency virus before it was transformed into human immunodeficiency virus. But how was it passed to humans? Before, people living the age tended to hunt and eat chimpanzees as a result of coming in contact with chimpanzees' infected blood. Furthermore, how can HIV be transmitted? HIV is transmitted through penetrative, anal or vaginal sex, blood transfusion, the sharing of contaminated needles in healthcare settings, and drug injection and between mother and infant during pregnancy, childbirth, and breastfeeding. What are the symptoms of HIV? Most people infected with HIV do not know that they have become infected. Immediately after the infection, some people have a glandular fever-like illness with fever, rash, joint pains, and enlarged lymph nodes, which can occur at the time of seroconversion. Seroconversion refers to the development of antibodies to HIV and usually takes place between 1 and 2 months after an infection has occurred. What treatment is available for this infection? Antiretroviral medicines are used in the treatment of HIV infection. They work against HIV infection by blocking the reproduction of HIV in the body. When a person living with HIV is on effective antiretroviral therapy, they are no longer infectious. But how do antiretroviral medications work? Inside an infected cell, HIV produces new copies of itself, which can then go on to infect other healthy cells within the body. The more cells HIV infects, the greater its impact on the immune system, immunodeficiency. Antiretroviral medicines slow down the replication and, therefore, the spread of the virus within the body by interfering with its replication process in different ways. Other question. How can HIV infection be prevented? Sexual transmission of HIV can be prevented by monogamous relations between uninfected partners, non-penetrative sex, consistent and correct use of female and male condoms. Voluntary medical male circumcision reduces the chances of men acquiring HIV from women. Always use new needles and syringes that are disposable or needles and syringes that have been properly sterilized before reuse. Ensure that blood and blood products are tested for HIV and that blood safety standards are implemented.
What is an HIV test?
An HIV test is a test that reveals whether a person has been infected with HIV. Commonly used HIV tests detect the antibodies produced by the immune system in response to HIV, as they are much easier and cheaper to detect than the virus itself.
So if you want to know if you are infected or not, get tested. Are mosquito bites a risk of infection with HIV?
HIV is not spread by mosquitoes or other biting insects. Even if the virus enters a mosquito or another sucking or biting insect, it cannot reproduce in the insect. Since the insect cannot be infected with HIV, it cannot transmit HIV to the next human it feeds on or bites.
Should I be concerned about getting infected while playing sport?
To answer that question, there is no evidence that HIV can be transmitted while playing a sport.
So, to sum it all up, do you want to get infected? If no, rewatch this video. Be aware. Get informed. This is student nurse Neil Adrian A. Doliente promoting awareness.